So how can you get yourself out of a lawsuit if you're in a conflict with somebody over a contract or over some dispute or some other type of conflict, whether it's a neighbor fighting over a fence, maybe it's a business deal gone bad, maybe it's a divorce. How do you get yourself out of a jam of being in a lawsuit? We have a few options. Obviously, you can negotiate a settlement with attorneys or directly. You can do demand letters. You can also do mediation using a third-party neutral mediator. Another way you can do it is an alternative to court, where you're using an unofficial type court and you have a dispute master who listens to the sides of a case just like a judge would. They're not attorneys. They're not an official legal court by any means, but you can pitch your story, show your evidence, show your documents. It's an abbreviated form. The other side can do the same thing. The dispute master will probably ask some questions to both of you to clarify some things, and they'll give you their version of a ruling. Now, it's not the same as a court ruling where it's official and it's binding. You can both decide, we don't want to do this, but at least it will give you an idea of what an official court ruling might be like, because that dispute master is going to know how courts work. They're going to have a lot of experience with disputes, with investigations, with insurance claims, and they'll know based on your evidence what's probably going to happen. And you can use that as a guide to say, well, if that's really what's going to happen, maybe we should settle. Or if that's what's going to happen, maybe I shouldn't file this lawsuit to begin with, or maybe I shouldn't defend myself. Or you might, both parties decide, you know what, that's a pretty reasonable answer, what they said on this alternate court, and we'll go for it. But again, it's up to you. It's not forced. It's not required. It's not a binding thing. So keep in mind that if you feel like it's a nightmare that you're in this dispute, in this conflict, you do have some options. Worst case scenario, you might end up in court and paying tens of thousands in legal fees and have to cross your fingers and hope that the court rules in your favor. You may not have a choice if the other party, pushes it to that limit. But at least try some of those other options. Negotiated settlement with attorneys, mediation, arbitration, or an alternate demand court where you can see what your options are in advance and maybe have some alternative sooner so you don't have to have this hanging over your head, losing sleep on it for months or even years.